Hey guys, my name is Bailey James. This is episode 1 of my podcast. We'll be covering various topics around the sports world, such as the NBA, the NFL, might even throw some NHL in there, who knows. We'll cover all the sports you love. So, first off, we had the NBA draft recently. Zion Williamson, with no surprise, went number 1. Ja Morant number 2, and then RJ Barrett number 3. No surprises there. All those players should do very well in their new respective teams. The Pelicans made a pretty decent haul in the draft by selecting Zion and then Jason Hayes later in the draft by trading the number 4 pick to the Atlanta Hawks. They got a solid haul. They got probably 2 starters and a quality backup from the Lakers for the number 4 pick, and then they swapped that number 8 pick number 4 pick rather, for a solid center for their team and some valuable assets down the road. They had a very nice draft. Other teams that did well include the Celtics, who started the day off with 3 first-round draft picks. They had some unfortunate news with Kyrie Irving saying he's going to leave, and Al Horford, who's also going to leave. But they did very well. They drafted Romeo Langford with their first pick. They drafted somebody else with their second pick, and then they traded one of their other picks for a future first-rounder, and they got rid of Aaron Baines' contract, but with the pick they gained from Philadelphia, which they got the 24 from Philadelphia. They traded that to the Suns for a future first-rounder, and they got rid of Aaron Baines' salary, so therefore they moved their salary cap up to the max slot so they can sign a max free agent. And they drafted very quality players. So those were my 2 winners of the draft. And as we move on to free agency, we'll see who actually gets signed. The Knicks might be a big player, mainly because they have $70 million in cap space. But who knows? Will Kawhi join the Clippers? Will he go with the Raptors? We'll find out that big news. Will the Warriors invest tons of money in their future by signing both Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson? I don't think it'll happen. I think they'll have to choose one or the other. Heck, they might lose both. Who knows? Kyrie Irving's most likely headed to Brooklyn. That should be fun. What else? Kevin Durant. They're saying he might go to New York. I think he should sign a 1-year deal with Golden State, recover from his injury, and then go into free agency next year with a solid look. The Lakers have some room to improve, as they only have currently 3 players on their roster: Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Kyle Kuzma. Those are all 3 great players, but they don't have in the roster. They have roughly 32 or 33 million in cap space. Now, do you go after one big guy, one max free agent, and just fill the roster with a bunch of other money, or do you just fill quality role players with the rest of your roster? We'll find out what they do, and a lot more, as things have gotten very interesting. There's also been some trades going around, as the Jazz traded away Jay Crowder, Grayson Allen, a couple draft picks, and Kyle Korver to the Memphis Grizzlies for Mike Conley, which is a big addition for them. They got Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley now in the backcourt, which would be very interesting. And there's lots of different interesting things going to be happening in the NBA. In the NFL, training camp is around the corner, as we have so many storylines with the NFL this year. It seems crazy, the fact that the playoffs keep changing every year. There's new teams in, old teams are out. Who knows what could happen. Personally, I think my favorite for the Super Bowl is the Indianapolis Colts. I saw lots of improvement over free agency, and last year they had a solid team. I think Andrew Luck only gets better from here, and he's got guys like Quentin Nelson on the offensive line. That's great. They got the linebacker there, Darius Leonard, if I'm not mistaken, is his name. He should be great, anchoring that defense, the middle linebacker position. Their secondary should be improved. They are my favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. Now, who will face them, you might ask? My early prediction right now is the New Orleans Saints. Yes, the team that got cheated out by the Rams last year. I believe they will go to the Super Bowl this year. I don't think the Rams are going to be as good. I feel like Todd Gurley is going to take a step back from his injury. We still don't know what happened with him. I don't think anyone from the NFC East will pose a threat for the Super Bowl this year. Although the Eagles did lock up their quarterback for the future, I don't think any of those teams will challenge. Now, the Falcons could be interesting, but they are just a mediocre team still looking to gain some ground. I don't think Carolina is going to be a threat, as we still don't know Cam Newton's status. No one else from that division really brings any bells besides New Orleans. The NFC West, we already talked about. I don't think anyone else is going to be a threat besides the Rams. Seattle is always interesting, but I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. They'll be good, but not as good. The 49ers, I mean, they're my team, so I have to have optimism, but I don't think they're going to get more than 8 or 9 wins this year, which would be an improvement, but still not good enough to make the playoffs. And no one needs to talk about the Cardinals. They're just out of it completely. The NFC North, we got the Packers, the Vikings, and the Bears, who will all be good next year, as that will be an interesting division race. The Bears, however, I don't think are going to be as good. They lost their defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio. Not a solid move for them, in my opinion. And the Packers, we'll see how they do with their new coach, who tore his ACL in minicamp, which is just bizarre. The Vikings, I think they'll be better with Kirk Cousins at the helm this year. I don't think he got the best rap last year, but I think they'll be better. Those are my picks for the Super Bowl. I can't really make any other predictions as how the seasons will go, although the Patriots are for sure to be there, because they always are, even though they have problems right now at tight end. They will be fine. They always are. Everybody freaks out about them. They are fine. They have the best coach in football, arguably the best quarterback ever, not in my opinion, but in most people's opinion, yes. So yeah, the Patriots will be there. No one from that division will challenge them at all, so they could be contention for the Super Bowl, but I don't think the Colts will beat them out. The Jaguars are interesting with new quarterback Nick Foles. Although Nick Foles has not shown extended success in the NFL. He's had little runs here and there, but not extended success. So we'll see how they go. I think they'll make the playoffs this year, but they won't be a Super Bowl contender. As for the Chiefs, who are another solid team, Patrick Mahomes is amazing. I think he will take a step back, as you've seen most quarterbacks in their second full year of starting, they take a step back, which I think he will, but they will still be great. It won't be like last year, because Tyreek Hill's status is still very uncertain. They had Kareem Hunt for a while last year. They obviously don't have him anymore, but they are a great team. They will make the playoffs. They will go to the divisional round, but I don't think they will get past the divisional round. in the AFC North, my teams that I think will win the division is either the Steelers or, yes, the Browns. The Browns are coming, and they are here to stay. They've got Baker Mayfield, they got Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, who the Giants traded away, which I don't know why the Giants would do that since they just signed him to an extension, but that's beyond me. They got a solid young defense. Their coach looks very good. Browns, I think they're a young team, yes. I don't think they'll win the division this year, but they will, in my opinion, be a wild card team in the playoffs. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson is great, but he's got to learn how to throw the ball. Once he learns how to throw the ball, they will be good. But right now, they will not make the playoffs. I think they may get 6 or 7 wins, but that's about it. The Steelers, yes, they lost Antonio Brown. Yes, they lost Le'Veon Bell. Did they have Le'Veon Bell last year, though? No, they did not. They had James Conner, who is a beast. Antonio Brown's production will be lost, but they have Juju Smith-Schuster, who's prepared to get into the number 1 role, which is what he's always wanted. So, yeah, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will win that division, but we shall see. Training camp's right around the corner, and we'll see. Mainly injuries. Injuries always change a season. Will there be big injuries? There hasn't been so far, but there will be. There always is. How will teams adjust? How will that affect how they play? We will all see that.